All right. It says, hang on, we're restarting. Is Twitch going to restart for me? And we're live. Hey guys. I don't know why it's doing that, but yeah, Twitch has gone a bit. It's been a bit
Got
naughty.
cranky.
Yeah. Okay. Seems to be back. Cool. All right. So yeah. So like we were saying, sometimes it's just a matter of try something, try it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, and
cutting in and
that's
out.
that's the mentality I'm taking,
Mm-hmm.
and as I go, my goal is to kind of weave all of my tunes together somehow. So as I murder them,
Nice.
hopefully I don't have too many at some point to figure this
Nice.
out. But
Well, you
yeah,
know,
no, that helps a lot.
well, just keep this in mind because the last show of the year, we do what we call is a death list show. So it's like the Christmas special, but it is a death list show. And it's where we roll out a list of how many we've killed. Um, our my very good friend and wonderful advocate of the challenges, Rogue Slayer, has been, and if she's probably will listen to this, hi Rogue Slayer, has been queen of the death list for gonna say at least 3 years,
Minimum 2.
at
I
least.
know like that first year was a little iffy between her and Zorts, I think, but I think the last 2 years most definitely.
And I think Dave did win.
Oh yeah,
one.
Dave had a
Yeah.
few too. He was right up with them.
Yes, Zorts. And we blame Zorts. It was Zorts'
Yep.
fault.
Yep.
He put this idea into my head, and that's it. So we have to do it every year now. So yes. So it's one of those things that we like
Holiday
to.
tradition.
It is. It's right before Christmas. Before we take a little Christmas break and roll out your dead, so to speak. So yeah. So keep your numbers, and you can. Some people like to send in little stories about their tunes over the year, and some people just send numbers. And Rogue Slayer will send me a spreadsheet of every single tune, which I love. Rogue Slayer, I so love getting her spreadsheets and just looking and just going, damn,
oh my,
awesome. Yes. So yes, so some people go into it in depth, and others just like to record how many. So keep that in mind. End of the year in December. I can't remember when the last show will be, but
we talked about that, but I don't remember when we said that was.
I can't remember.
Let me see here. I
Remember.
think it's either the 12th or the 19th.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go early this year on the 12th.
Yeah,
So
I think we said maybe the 12th.
Yeah. So
but we'll see.
We will let you know. We will let you know when
we will
when to start sending
I gotta
stuff.
Get my numbers up.
Yes. It's if you want to go for that bragging rights, whatever whatever you want to call it. So I think Rogue Slayer did tweet us as to how she's gone this year so far.
She tweeted her green death list.
That's right.
So far.
Yes.
I don't know about the others, but she did tweet the green list.
Yes. And impressive. So, but she's just got her first max level tune right before the squish, which was fantastic. So yes.
That's awesome.
Alrighty. Another question. Nisey, what have we got?
So, now, I know that you haven't been doing challenge tunes for too long, but do you have a fond memory so far?
Yeah, actually. I think my second tune, kind of that whole sequence where I created this mystery around my first tune's death, and just watching the response from the community with that was really fun, because not only did I get to create something that was entertaining, But I was like, oh, what am I going to do next? Oh, man, I got to think of something cool here. So when I wasn't playing, I was thinking of how I could make this more fun for everyone. So I think that was probably my most bestest memory, to use perfect grammar there.
I love it. My most bestest memory. That's a good one.
Another title.
Alrighty. Okay, so you mentioned before, when we were talking about deaths, and you mentioned about the Twitter, tweeting out and all of that kind of thing. Do you think that has been the roughest death that you've had so far, or is there another one that kind of really, really hurts? The one that really, really hurts?
Yeah, my first one really hurt because I felt like I was doing everything to be as cautious as I possibly could, and I still got destroyed by a patrol. That came out of nowhere, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it came out of, like, I went around this little tent, and I'm like, okay, I killed the guy in the tent. I killed his partner. There's no way. I'm good. There's nothing around here. And then from the backside of the other tent, so these tents were set up in, like, this little cove with a hill kind of behind it. Like, there's no way there's a pat back there, right? No, there was. It came right between them and got me.
Ow.
And I remember I was going to put down my Earthbind totem. I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm getting out of here. I stopped for whatever reason. Instead, I kept running. And then that little hesitation killed me. Because I got it down, but it was like 2 hits and I was dead after that.
Yeah. I think we can all feel that, because there has been many times over the years that moment where you just go, wait, hang on, I can do this, and you're on a challenge soon. Like you're seriously like, no, I can do this. I'm dead. So, I think that there is that factor that, you just kind of get, I know my little bit of, my little bit of, damn, I can do this stubbornness comes in, when instead it's just, get out. Run.
Yeah. Get the hell out of there.
Yes.
And I didn't. I'm so used to having gear. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, uh-oh, it's not fine. Get the hell in. By that time, it was too late. So.
Yes. Well, that's your first death. You will, I can almost guarantee you will never forget your first death, because that is definitely one death that stays with you. Nisey, you tell Cy, what was your first death? Challenge soon.
I think my first death was in the 40s. I think I died to an invisible mob. I think it was stuck in the ground and I couldn't see it, and it was poison spitting me. It was one of the wind serpents.
Oh no.
In Thousand Needles. And there was nothing in front of me. There was nothing there, but my health kept ticking. Oh, no, it wasn't an invisible mob. That's what it was. I hit Stone Skin. Killed the mob, and somehow Stone Skin glitched, and the poison that they spit on me from the one I killed kept recycling. And it wouldn't. No amount of eating was doing anything. I was on a priest. No amount of healing was doing anything. I couldn't dispel it. I couldn't clear it. And I had to sit there and watch me die slowly over the course of like 10 minutes because it kept re-going and I could not get it to drop. And I'm like, this is terrible. And I'm like, this is just, why? Just die already. I think I couldn't take it anymore and I jumped off the cliff because I was just like, it wasn't gonna clear, and I was running out of food, and I was like, yeah,
wow,
this isn't happening. So yeah, that was bad.
Well, as Chris in the chat room says, her first death was a rare Murloc, which is... I am so cracking up inside, Chris, because that is so funny.
Which one?
That's just hilarious. So like for me, I made my first tune a very long time ago. Undead Warlock, of course, and I fell off Hellspread. I think it was Gavin's hand. I have,
Whoops.
well, I was backing up, there was the Alliance was walking around, and I was like, okay, all right, hang on, there's stealthy dudes, back up, back up, back up, and yeah, Leeta has major problems falling off things. So that,
Oh gosh.
yeah, I will never forget that. 38. I was 38 under Warlock. Yes, I found a screenshot the other day of my toon, actually, and I was like, when I made her and then stripped down, and I must have taken a screenshot of, and I was like, oh damn, that was the very first one. That was a long time ago.
I swear, you must have like a 2 terabyte portable hard drive with nothing but screenshots.
I have a lot of screenshots.
I swear.
Which are backed up on 2 drives because I don't ever want to lose them. Ever. So, yes, exactly. All right. So the other question I wanted to ask you is, with your leveling of Iron Man, and obviously, we have had some changes come in this week, but with what you've found so far, what have you found to be the most unfriendly zone, do you think, for a challenge so far?
I think so far the worst zone I've been in has been Ashenvale.
Mm-hmm.
And where my paladin died, kind of over, I can't think of the name of it. It's kind of in the lower right-hand corner. There are the sharp beaks or razor beaks, whatever they're called, the hippogriffs that have a fast respawn timer.
Yeah.
And there's a quest over there to kill stealth night elves, and the stealth night elves are freaking everywhere. So avoid that quest line if you can. The corrupting of the heart of the forest, I believe it is, because it'll just end in heartache. Because to get to that point, the Splinter Tree Outpost, I believe, is where you get that quest.
Yep.
I had to fight my way through and kill the same Razorbeak like 6 times, and that one actually ended up killing me. So, yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a nasty one. And I will say I do echo Ashenvale, especially for the Horde side, because those fur blocks hit like a truck, too, for Alliance and Horde. So you really got to watch them.
Yes.
Yeah, they are brutal.
Yes.
So.
Oh, yes. Yes, I can remember having a very unhappy ending to, I'm gonna say it was a blood. I can't remember last year, and it was not pretty.
I think it was bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it was not pretty. And it was one of those things. It was like, well, I go down here, and it's kind of like, yeah, it'll be fine. Dead. So, anyway. Okay, what else have we got for Cy, please?
So, we know you haven't been playing that long, but in the course of your journey so far, have you thought of any advice that you would pass on to other people that are thinking of jumping into the challenges?
Yeah. First of all, if you are kind of like caught up with all the content of the game, or maybe you're not happy with an element of the game, I definitely recommend trying this playstyle, because the core of what World of Warcraft is still there. Like, this is the game when we first started playing it. Like, I remember a long time ago going into zones and, oh crap, I have to think about, what do I pull? Where's the best way through this maze of mobs? How do I get through here? If you want to go back to that playstyle, whoops, hit the mic, sorry. It's there for you and waiting for you to do it. It's just in this format. That's how you get back to the old school way of doing things. So if you do play an Iron Man toon, you have to tap back into that old school mindset, because if you don't, and if you think you can come in and pull the entire camp, you're gonna get vaporized immediately. And so, I mean, the danger elements of the game come back with a vengeance. And so there are times when you're taking 2 hits and you're almost dead, and you need to be thinking about that stuff. And honestly, if you want to get better at the game, I highly recommend this format because it helps you think of how do you get out of these circumstances so you use your defensive cooldowns more efficiently. And you have to think about what abilities do I have to actually deal with what I'm working with here. Because I think the game before the squish, we were gods at one point. Like I remember going on my resto shaman and just killing everything because I had the tier rate or whatever, like heroic level gear, and I could go into the world and not think about what I was doing. So it kind of felt like, okay, I'm kind of bored now. But now that I've jumped back into this, I'm actually becoming a better player as a whole because I have to think, oh crap, I have to use this. So now when I have to use this or that, I can apply it to my current tune, my main tune, and I'm much better now. So I think in the end, playing an Iron Man tune gets you back to the core, like helps you with that core stuff. So it's like baseball stuff. So I'm wearing my Atlanta Braves hat because they're one win away from the World Series. But nice. When I coached baseball, you can't play baseball without knowing the fundamentals, and this is kind of like going back to those fundamentals.
Oh, definitely. You never know when you should have CC'd and you didn't, and you had the ability to, and then you're kicking yourself.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
So when you get in those party situations, or like, you're in a dungeon, you're like, oh, I know I need to stop that thing from getting to me because I'm going to die. Even if you're not, that mindset is still there. So now when I heal dungeons, I can think of, I need to stand over here because I don't want to even be close to that. And it's helped me a ton, just trying to play this game at the best I can, and it's been a lot of fun. So
good.
And do you have any specific tips or tricks that you would like to disperse to others?
Yeah, don't tweet unless you know for a fact you are safe. Otherwise you'll die.
Yeah. We understand that. Safe, make sure it's a safe spot. Like, it's...
Get the screenshot and get the hell out of there and then go back to town and tweet.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the good thing about a screenshot is, and I know I'm so guilty of it, is trying to get that out and not going into the files because I'm being lazy or I've got limited time. But you know what? When it comes down to it and you take that screenshot, you've always got it in the, in the screenshot file. So you can copy and paste and do it the long way. Leeta, listen to yourself right now. So, yeah, we understand. All right. Well, Cy, thank you so much for sharing your journey so far. And again, welcome to the challenges. And we are so happy that you are having so much fun with it, which is fantastic. But we want to know how your week's been. Because, there's just this little thing that happened this week. Pre-patch.
Anything.
Squish.
Pre-patch hit.
Nothing big.
Yeah, so
at all.
So,
yep.
Fun fact, when a big patch like this comes through and you make some changes and then you get DC'd and come back on, sometimes your stuff gets deleted. Like I went through and totally redid all of my macros for healing.
Yeah.
No.
Spent like an hour and a half. Got disconnected, logged back on, and it was like I never even did anything.
No.
Like I deleted my old macros because I had like 7 million of them, and all of those were back, and everything was like it just rolled me back to the beginning of my play session. That was fun.
Ow.
Oh, I'm sure there were choice words.
Wow.
I logged off and I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk away. I'm going to finish this tomorrow. So I went back on the next day and I got my macros in. So I was able to go heal a dungeon. I played with my son. My son's just learning how to play. We did heroic, mechagon. We did the not the junkyard, but the shop. And he's clicking and he's searching. It's like he's playing vanilla again.
Yeah.
You know, like how I was when I played vanilla. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here telling I'm like, dude, just hit one as fast as you can. Like, don't worry about it. And so we got to the dog boss. Everybody left us except for one because they weren't respecting mechanics. So when you're doing some of these dungeons, you have to respect mechanics, otherwise you're going to die. And so they left. So he and I basically two-manned the dog boss. Nice. He's on a mage and I'm on my shaman.
Oh wow!
And so that was pretty fun. That gave him some confidence.
Oh, that's
Good.
great.
That's fantastic.
And then yeah, so that's good. So he's learning, and I'm just getting a feel for things. And I just went in and messed around with my appearances, like everybody else did. Had to add leaves to my night elf.
Well, there's some
looks fun,
amazing things. Like seriously, it was fantastic. That's very, very cool. Some of the stuff in the appearance tabs. Like, it's been a long time coming, don't you think? Like 16 years.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
been forever.
Oh yes, thank you, Blizzard. Thank you. About time. So
yeah. Like on the good. Druid, you can go and change your bear and cat form colors too, which is really cool.
Nice. And what about this? You can change sex. You can go, like, I nearly flipped out because I don't play male tunes anyway. But I'm like looking, going, what is... Oh! I was like, yeah, no, Leeta's not being a male. No. But how cool's that? So it's now in game.
That's awesome.
Wow. So that
used
cool.
to be a paid service. You had to actually pay to switch sex and then change your appearance that way.
Yeah, I know. So it's good to see that they've put some of these things in game, and you know, you can access it quite easily. I suppose if that's what you're into. Cool. Excellent. But it sounds like you've had a very fun week, and yay that your son's playing and having some fun with his dad. So awesome.
Oh yeah, we have a blast.
That's really cool. Really cool. Fantastic. Yeah. All right, Nisey. I know you've had a big week out of game. So what have you done in game? Anything?
Yeah. Well, in game, Wednesday. I after the madness settled down from Tuesday, patch day, I was like, okay, you know what? Squish happened, and that's really what I was mostly waiting for. I was like, let's start the throwaway blood. Every big pre-patch, I make a throwaway challenger. So if it dies, I don't care, because it wasn't one that I was already pre-invested in. So I'm just slowly venturing out, getting my feet underneath me, figuring out what's not been squished, what's a bug, what I need to avoid for my others. It was interesting. I made a gnome mage, and you know, what did I get to? I think I got to level 5 in the amount of time that I was streaming. It wasn't bad. I felt a little too strong for level 5. It was weird, but you know, I'm sure they're still in the process of rebalancing stuff, so it probably won't remain that way for that long. I noticed an oddity that kind of irked me quite a lot. From a bloodthirsty's viewpoint, irons it won't matter so much, but for bloods, I wanted to punch someone. There was a level 50 running around in Dunmorrow. I had gone into a cave. I was like, oh, let's go hit the rare in the quarry. Running up to the rare, and this level 50 came running by me, and I was working on a regular mob. I think they were mining or something. I'm like, fine, whatever. I had gotten like 2 or 3 hits on this trog. The 50 turns around and pops off the trog and finishes it. And I'm sitting there kind of dumbfounded because I'm like, something didn't happen. And I'm like, did I not get XP? And I'm like, it's sparkling, so I can loot it. And I was like, no, I must have gotten the XP. I must just be looking at my chat funny, because I was watching like 3 different windows and the game at the same time. I'm like, no, that had to have been from that mob. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Looted, went on my way. He's over mining somewhere. The rare's up. Yay! This is like my 3rd pass through, and he's finally up. Awesome. Start hitting him. got about 3 or 4 hits in on him, and I see this level 50 coming up the ramp. I'm like, no, don't hit my rare. You don't need him. No, just let me have my rare, please. Dude swats him, or swats him. He dies in 1 hit from the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It's sparkling for loot. I got no XP. I was like, what? What? I was pissed. I was like, no. Where's my 270 XP? Why didn't I get my
nothing.
XP? I looked at my stats. It counted under my kills that grant XP or honor stat, but I got no XP.
Wow.
And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I guess they haven't rebalanced that part where when a higher person hits your mob, you get less XP from it. I guess Brittle was thinking maybe it balanced out to 0 to me because of the way things haven't been fully fixed yet. But I was like, damn. I was like, that's sad.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
Okay.
I was like, no. I just spent, all of these frost bolts trying to kill this thing. He comes in and taps it, and I got nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, for a bloodthirsty, that was just like soul crushing, and I'm like, no.
Well, it's a rare. Bloodthirsties. We absolutely live for the kill, and a rare kill is so much good XP. So the fact you got like, nothing.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I was so dumbfounded. I'm like, what?
We might have to go do some testing at some time. Yeah, so maybe after the show.
I'm hoping that gets ported further down the road. I think I put a bug report in about it because I had no idea what had happened, and I'm like, no, that's not right. So
give me back my XP.
Give me my XP. Yeah. Even I'm used to like other higher levels hitting before level squish came in, where I'd get like 10 or 15 XP, and I'm like, nah. Yeah. But I didn't get any, and I'm like,
anything.
You know what?
All right. Okay,
so I did that, and I finally decided, okay, we're finally gonna do it. We're finally gonna pull the trigger, and I'm gonna level my Horde side character, because I never play Horde normally through the story. What? So I started my Horde character, and I made a Tauren druid, and so I'm working my way through, doing all my quests, actually reading the quest text for a change, taking my time. And I was planning on going and doing, each of the starting zones and then working my way up from there. Went to turn a quest in Orgrimmar, and I don't know what happened. I guess I took the wrong quest to turn in first, because I had 2. I was supposed to talk to Hellscream, and I was supposed to talk to Sylvanas, and I don't remember seeing Hellscream there when I walked in, but the question mark was on the map, and I'm like, okay. So I ended up talking to Sylvanas, and all of a sudden I was in the starting quest for BFA, and I was like, okay. And I have to run through Stormwind to bust somebody out of prison. I'm like, all right. I guess I wanted to see this, but maybe not yet, but here we are. Okay. So now I'm kind of going through the BFA side, and I guess I'll go back and do the other stuff later, but I'm just kind of rolling with it at the moment, and I'm like, okay, sure. This is different, but all right.
See how it goes.
It feels very weird to be in Zandalar at level 14. I'm like, I'm scared of everything. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, I shouldn't be here. I'm just like waiting for something to come out and whack me, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that. I've been working on a couple of things for WoW challenges outside of game. Things that will be talked about further down the road, but it's a long-term project, the one. And I've been getting ready for what we have coming up tomorrow that we'll talk about in the news in a few minutes. So
yes, absolutely.
What have you been up to, Leeta?
Oh, nothing. Not much. Me, never. No, actually, I did a couple things. First off, I was pushing so hard to get the Tauren Druid Pacifist. I really wanted to hit 120 before the patch, and I was going as hard as I could, but there are times that the body's just crashes. Like when I say, I gotta go, I gotta log, it's because I gotta log. Like otherwise I need to sleep. So I didn't make it. I hit 118. I was about 2/3 or 3/4 through 118. And I couldn't do it. I think I was up till after 11 the night the pre-patch was gonna hit. Like for you guys that day I was still up and my eyes are popping out of my head and I'm like, I need to go to bed. It's not going to happen. I resound the fact that it's not gonna happen. So you know, and then pre-patch happened and I eventually logged in after a couple of days of just craziness. And here she is sitting at, and the most bizarre thing, I don't know if you guys, both of you had this thing, but you log in, I look at my tunes on the right hand side and I'm looking at all those numbers and I'm just like, damn. Those numbers, like, you know, level 50, level 50, level 38, level 49, and I'm just like, I miss my 120s.
It was really weird.
It was. Yeah. It was just like, you know, I'm jumping from server over to the other server and, you know, the same thing. And it's just looking, going, this is really surreal to see all my tunes, the ones that I know have hit max, the ones that, you know, and they're just like level 50 and level, and then I'm just like, I can't get my brain around this. It took me about 3 days to get my brain around it. So that was a bit bizarre. But I finally hopped back on the Tauren Druid after a couple of days just to let things settle. Because, you know, add-ons and stuff, and it's just like, And I log in, and she's at level 49 at 100%. And I've got like 300 XP to go. I'm just...
Oh, no.
And I'm just like, you bastards! Like, I'm literally, like, there. And because I couldn't push it to, you know, the night the night of the pre-patch, I'm just like, this little thing's taunting me saying, you just need this much. So I ended up going... to Thunderbluff, where I do the fishing and cooking dailies on her, because obviously Thunderbluff has the most like the best fishing and cooking for horde pacifists. So I decided, am I gonna do the fishing one or the cooking one? Because whichever one I do, I'm gonna ding. And the cooking one gave me, you know, make the spice bread. So I had the flour and that was it. And I just sat there and I handed it in and it goes ding 50, and you know, it means nothing now because pre-patch is hit and it's, you know, hitting 50. It was just like I sat there and I'm just looking at my tune and I'm just like, you know, I'm being all grumpy. I'm just like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, at least her alive for when we come out of the pre-patch and the holding pattern that we're in at the moment.
Yes.
So, I mean, you do have a live one to work with once we get launched, but it's still like, well, that's a fine mess, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, it just, yeah. I mean, I couldn't have done any more on her. I literally was exhausted myself in just getting her to 118, you know. So anyway, that was that. But I did start a new tune. I made a gnome warlock, which I got to level 4. So she's gonna be a working man because I figured, you know, after killing. The last one, I thought, well, we'll start off. I'll just, you know, we'll just take slow, and I'll start from there. And yes, I made a warlock, and yes, I made no. I did toss up. I was like, undead. No. Yeah. I'll go gnome. Fine.
Not so much an alcoholic as a lockaholic. So
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a very real thing. But at the good thing, look, gnomes get purple hair now. Like purple. I love the pink. I love red, but it's purple. And I'm like, she's got purple pigtails. So I was super excited. And then the other thing, when I logged into Leeta, obviously my main, and I had a look at the appearance stuff and, go to the barber shop because I'm like, I've had her in her style pretty much since day dot, since the moment that I made her. I think I've only changed her hairstyle once. Everything else is exactly the same as I made her 16 years ago. So when I looked and I was looking at the customizations and just going, I don't want that. When I looked at the eyes and it popped up, I could get purple eyes. I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So that was the only thing I did. I gave Leeta purple eyes. So I was like, yay. So that's awesome. It. Yes, so that's pretty much been my week. It's in between, IRL just being a bit crazy. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey so far with the pre-patch stuff, but I think we will talk about that in a sec. Where's my bumper? Let's play this bumper. Here it is.
Breaking down news from the world of Warcraft.
All right, and yes, pre-patch has hit. Dun, 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 dun. It is here. For all of you guys, I hope you stripped off your tunes. I didn't have any problems. I only actually stripped off the passies. I thought, you know what? I'm not worried about anyone else. I just did the Night Elf Rogue, and I did my Tauren Druid, and when I logged back on the Druid, I didn't have any issues with gear. So, Nisey, did you notice anything?
I didn't notice anything. I haven't re-geared all of them yet because we still have launch to get through, and I strongly suggest everybody get naked again for when launch happens, just in case. We never know.
Never know.
But I didn't see anything right off the bat that gave me pause where I was like, oh, that's new. But from what I was seeing in Discord, nobody has mentioned having any gear change on them.
Exactly.
So good.
That's positive. I think the biggest thing that we have found is there has definitely been some bug stuff. Where was it? Wetlands in
Warden's Grove.
Yes.
These scripted orcs that run up and attack the guards from over where the dragonkin are were suddenly standing in the middle of Green Warden's Grove near the big green swampy dude.
Yes.
Just waiting for somebody to come along. They're like,
it's great. It was a great screenshot because it's like they're all just standing there, like looking. And
Zaya saw it and Cyrub both saw it. So that's interesting. Zaya said that he saw some ghoul bodies along the side of the road going from Elwyn into Redridge, I believe. I only heard him mention that. I don't know what that was about. Guys, use caution out there. We don't know. We shouldn't be having the zombie invasion happen till closer to launch, but the further out we get from pre-patch, we don't know if they're just going to drop them on us and just then after they're there say, oh hey, launch is in blank, but we don't know if we're going to get heads up ahead of time. So further out we go, just take a peek around before you take your challengers out, if you're taking challengers out right now.
There's a lot of stuff that's going on because obviously the squish, we've got, we don't know when launch for Shadow Labs itself is hitting. Blizzard still hasn't said. So, we're in a little bit of a state of, we've got new stuff, but we need to be a bit careful and all of that kind of thing. So I think, just be a little wary, just be, as careful as you can be, because there is things and bugs and damage stuff that's happening that doesn't seem quite right.
Yeah, like some people are coming across some issues where aren't quite scaled right,
Yeah.
but we always do that whenever they do a stat or stat squish, or in this case a level squish on top of everything. So it's to be expected.
Yeah.
With this large and this complex of a patch. So don't get mad. Just make sure that you're not on a character that you care about. So take your scouts out. Try to figure out what path that you want to take once Shadowlands comes in and all the fires are put out, or at least most of them are.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is good to be able to remember is if you've got a new account, as long as you do Exile's Reach and hit level 10, you can then skip over to just playing a normal, from what Rude had said. And I think there was it Brittle? Someone else had mentioned, for brand new accounts, because obviously a brand new account, it's going to put you in Exile's Reach. Exile's Reach is not a place that a challenge tune is to go, guys, because don't forget, the dungeon at the end will count as a dungeon. It will also put you into a dungeon scenario with other people. It has happened. So Exile's Reach is no-go zone for a challenge tune, okay? But yeah, as long as you hit level 10, as Rude says, you get the achievement, then you can, the next tune that you make, you can choose, to go to, if you're making a gnome, go to Gnomeregan, to the starting area for that race, which is good to know. So thank you, Rude, for letting us know again about that, because it had completely slipped my mind as to the new account. So
I was kind of thinking that might be what happened based on what we were seeing in beta, but we were not sure as it had not been stated clearly. Yeah. So, but now we know for sure that once you go through there once on a brand new account, then you're good. You can pick wherever you want.
That's right. And it's not like you have to level a tune like to 50. As long as you get through and hit level 10 and do it, get the achievement, you're done. I think when we were doing what, beta, PTR, whichever one we were doing as the group, we were way past level 10 by the time we got
like
to
11 or 13 or
13?
Something by the time we got
yeah, I was gonna say,
it was 10 or a little over 10, I don't remember, but it didn't take long to get through.
It wasn't that long, really, so keep that in mind. All right.
That's pretty fun to do too if you're not doing a challenge tune. Like if you're new to the game, I highly recommend doing it just to learn.
Yeah. It's got some really interesting things that I think Nisey and I were both, when we were testing like a team, that we were both going, what? What do you mean I gotta do this? Like, cause you don't, as someone who's played, you just like, you don't think about that. You just like, go hit this and do what you want. And the game keeps going, no, you need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And then that.
Yeah, like, it's like, you are not doing that first. You are doing this.
Do this
You're not going to move forward until you do this thing. And like, it was a little overwhelming for a veteran player that's been playing for so long, but totally awesome for somebody that's brand new, trying to teach you the fundamentals and how to get your feet under you.
It was very cool. It was very cool. Absolutely. Rude says, what areas do you advise when talking to Chromie to level? Hey, look, it's up to you where you want to go. It's, you know,
your guild stat.
Just there's so many possibilities. Jump around. Like, you can go and explore. Be picky choosy. Quests. Just pick the quests that you think are the most comfortable. As Fair says, it makes no difference. It's up to you. I love Northrend, so guess what? I'm guessing I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Northrend. Shalazar. Oh, I love Shalazar. Anyway. Alright, so, but there is something that hits tonight, tomorrow, whenever it is.
10
hang on, let me do it, let me do this. Oh, I have to. I have to do that because, poor Execute, we were talking about it last night and I'm like, Hallow's End starts! And we were saying something and he was like, oh, okay. He's like, okay, play the bumper. And I'm like, oh, I know you don't like it. He's like, oh, just play it. So I did. And I was like, yes! It's so excuse. I love that. So, Nisey, tell us, what have we got? Hallow's End.
Oh, guys. Oh. So, Blizzard was kind enough to drop pre-patch right before a big holiday for us. This is
Thanks,
a very
Blizz.
expensive holiday. Yes, thank you, Blizzard. Thank you so much.
We appreciate
I love
it.
you guys,
No.
really. This is the first holiday that we're going to have with a level squish, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let that sink in for a minute. We don't know yet if there is going to be some level requirements to doing any of the Hallow's End things and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I will have to be doing extensive testing tomorrow once things go live. So after I get up, time zones and bad sleeping patterns, it is what it is. I am doing the groundwork for the article for you guys tonight. I will have it done as much as I can. Tomorrow, the article will be out probably later in the evening, maybe around 6 or 7, depending on how long it takes for me to get through testing, because I'm going to have to relook at everything. So bear with us. The article will be up, but it won't be up right when the event goes live. It will be up much later in the day. So... be careful if you're going to attempt to run a challenger before we put the article up.
Scout it out and,
please
double check
scout
first because,
but it will be up. Yeah. I am working on it. I promise it'll just be later than we normally put them up because there's a lot to go through. Hallow's End is one of our larger holidays for the challengers, and there's a lot. There's one thing I can guarantee you that will not change. Challengers that are solo will not be allowed to do the dungeon events unless you are a team, and your team must be 5 people. If your team is less than 5 people, you cannot do the dungeon because you're not allowed to use Dungeon Finder to backfill the spaces. That I can guarantee you will not change.
Oh, and there's one other thing. If you're bloodthirsty,
Bloodthirsties can't do the event. Bloodthirsty teams or bloodthirsty solo. This revolves around.
No love for the bloods.
No love for the bloods. Once again,
even with squishy stuff, there is no love for the bloods. So
nope. Just go back to your killing field and stay there.
Exactly.
Nobody wants you to get candy. You can't have candy. You've been bad.
Candies. Yes.
So just bear with us. There's a lot going on. It is a very large, complex holiday to get through. I was going over last year's article before the show started, and I'm just looking at everything, and I'm like, oh God, this is gonna take a few hours. So just hang in there with us, and as soon as we get it posted, it'll be announced in Discord, on Twitter, and on the Facebook page, but probably not till later tomorrow night.
And obviously, the website, adding new tunes. We've got a nice big banner on the very top of the website because with the squish, things now need to be sorted. There is no adding tunes. We've got Elkie's working through code and all that kind of stuff as fast as she can. As to when the website will be back up to add tunes, at the moment, guys, I don't know. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. We've never had anything like to the degree that the squish has had. So as soon as something's up, we will let you know. We will tweet it out. We will put it in Discord. We will put it on Facebook. But for the time being, use this time to scout, take out some, if you've got some old irons, that kind of thing that you want to play around with, or just take, level some normal tunes just to get the feel of how a class is playing, what you're doing, what the damage is like, and there's all sorts of things.
Anyway, so maybe use this time during Hallow's End to maybe carefully, after scouting things, to maybe take a baby pacifist to do some candy buckets to at least get you to level 5 when you can get your professions, and then hold there. So once again, we do have the rule in place for Green Man and working. You cannot go past 20 before adding to the site. So keep
Well,
that in mind.
no, that is gonna change because everything's been squished. So there are rules changes that are coming into force. So
And I
at
don't
this
know.
stage,
So
at this stage, yeah, don't rely on because everything's got to
Yeah.
be stripped
True.
and redone. So at the moment, I've got no news as to when you can add a tune because we're working out at which point it's going to be. So hence why you can't add tunes.
so
Okay.
yeah, I guess working and couldn't
Yeah.
just sit.
As soon as
Can't
I've
do
got
anything.
some hardcore answers, we will let you know. Hopefully soon, but again, there's a ton of stuff that's got to be worked through as quickly as possible, and it's there's a lot.
Job.
We've got 9 challenges. We've got all the squishy stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
So
X number of characters that need to be
yeah, just remember though,
reworked and looked at.
we continue on with specs. That has not changed. So that is a positive for us going into Shadowlands. So we don't have to go
as much as you want.
Yeah, exactly. All right. State of the challenges. Of course, we've got none because all the squishy stuff and all the things. So I did want to mention a huge congratulations because someone did hit max on another of her pacifist tunes.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Fair. She hit I think, what was it, like with a day to spare or under a day to spare?
I believe 8 hours before
wasn't long
patch came in.
Congratulations. Hang on, where's my little cheer? I've got a little, here we go. Congratulations. This was 8 hours to spare. Well done on her human road.
Right at the buzzer.
Yes. So congratulations. So Fair was our 21st max pacifist for BFA.
Her last max challenger for BFA at that as well.
Exactly. Our last 120.
Yep.
Because we've not got that anymore. It still does my head. We're not going. We're going backwards.
I'm just like no, I'm still 120. No,
but
huge. No, I didn't lose time.
Exactly, and huge congratulations to Fair, and
Yes.
And that is wonderful. And again, to all of the guys everyone that has hit maxed over the last couple months, again, well done. Some people have been pushing hard before pre-patch hit. And I don't think we've had this many max levels, for BFA. Was amazing. So again, congratulations. I think we are still waiting on a couple of write-ups. Am I correct?
Yes, we are.
We would like
I'm
them.
looking at you, Harrington, Jang, and Rogue Slayer.
We want them.
Time, please.
Yes, we want them ASAP, guys. Otherwise, Leeta's going to just tell Nisey, congratulations, you hit 120. That's it.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah,
so
wrapped up.
we would like to give you a proper, a proper.
Yeah, I do. I do want you to have your input and
yeah,
but
we want to know. So exactly. So please get them in ASAP to Nisey this week.
Yes.
Would be fantastic. All right. Other than that, let us go. Where's my chit chat bumper? Let's do this one.
Hey yo, it's chit chat.
Oh, the zorts. Oh. All right. Okay. So as we like to start our chit chat segment, our section, we have to start with this. Let's play Azzy's bumper. Where is it? Here it is.
It's Azzy's pun.
Oh, still makes me smile. Still, I love that. Thank you, Azzy. All right. Sai, can you... Apologies, I haven't read it, so I don't know what Azzy sent in. Can you read Azzy's pun, please?
Clear the throat here. What do you call a cow that just gave birth?
I don't know.
Decaffeinated.
I have never heard that one. That was
Also
that was
decaffeinated
good.
for lack of coffee.
That's oh, Azzy, thank you. That was super cute. That was awesome, and I can't go wrong with the coffee joke. Absolutely. Thank you, Azzy. Okay, Nisey, what is Dave's surname, please?
All right, so Dave has for us today. Yesterday, I accidentally swallowed some food coloring. The doctor says I'm okay, but I feel like I've died a little inside.
That's a good one.
That's like a really good. That's like a baking joke, really. So I think Azzy and Dave have covered two of my most favorite things. So thank you guys. Love them. That was awesome. Alrighty. Now we do have a serious question from Matson. They wrote to say, do you still have a list on your site for YouTube playlists of Iron Man challenge videos from content creators? Now, as far as I know, Alminia had taken that off when the site got moved and all of those things. Once the site settles and all the stuff settles with the squish and all of the things, this is definitely something that I want to have back on the website. So I will talk to Oki about that. Let you know when that's done, but that's a little way down the track. So yeah, but otherwise, pop over to you can always check out and just do a / WoW challenges, WoW Iron Man. There is a lot of people that have tried to do various things over the years. There's still people streaming, as we know. So yeah. Or just ask in Discord. Yep.
Yeah, we have a promo channel that people doing the challenges can pop their stuff in, or links to their videos of where they're doing stuff there as well.
Exactly. So and let us know if you're doing stuff and we don't know about. Please let us know and we can include that as well. Alrighty. Well, I think it's about time to wrap up. Any last questions before we wrap up? Sai, anything that you want to know? All good?
I think we covered pretty much anything I had questions on.
Excellent.
I think a lot of my process is just going to be going in and doing it. That's how I learned the best anyway.